Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to be doing a little bit of work today on the Jurassic Park. First thing I need to do is figure out how to get the monitor mounted back in here. There's some boards and stuff we're going to have to unscrew and take out of here. There's a light that needs to be taken out. So there's quite a few things we need to do in order to get the monitor to go back into this cabinet. I want to show you something real quick before we start with this. I picked this up the other day, and I know it's not Budweiser, but I saw it and I was like, man, that really kind of matches Tapper. So I picked this old sign up. It's like some sort of like a blow mold material. It's weird, but that guy kind of reminded me of Tapper. So I know it's the different brand of beer, but I think I'm going to hang it above it just to be kind of, I think it'd be kind of cool to just see that up there. All right, so what I need to do is, hopefully there's enough lighting. It looks like I got my light set up, should be all right, is start to unscrew this wood out of this cabinet, whatever they put in here. And then I have to go in my storage room and see if I can't find some brackets to mount this monitor back in here. On the last video that we did on this, we got the game itself to work, so that's good. This is actually a nice LED light. I'm going to keep it, obviously, but we're not going to keep it in this game. I think there might be the light up there. I don't even know if the light's up there or not, the original one. I haven't even taken that marquee off to check, but so this board's got to come off first. Is it this board? Yes, this piece has got to come off first. So let's get that unscrewed and kind of take a look at what they did underneath. Hopefully it's not all completely screwed up under here. I gotta find a piece of glass for this too, which I think I have several pieces of glass, so I'm hoping that I'll have something that matches. This I could probably unscrew now too. No, it's in the way. So there's some brackets on the back that somebody tried to, I don't know what they were trying to do, to be honest with you. Maybe just kind of make it look a little bit more streamlined in there for a flat screen monitor. I don't really know. I'm just gonna throw those screws in the bottom for now. So there's some metal brackets under here I need to unscrew. Technically, is there more screws? I think it's just a tight fit. Get this piece out of here. It's actually a pretty decent piece of wood. Save that for something. It's just 1/2 inch MDF. Never know. Could always use that for something. Okay, I'm gonna get these brackets off of here. I'll save these brackets. They're actually pretty nice, thick brackets. Once again, you never know. You need them for something, so that's actually a pretty nice little bracket. I mean, a big accomplishment would be to get this monitor in, because then it's just put the board in, route the wiring, and really not much left to do. Adjust the gun some, stuff like that, really. This is like some real thin, it looks like the pegboard without the holes. So let's try to get this one side off here. Yeah, it's definitely like pegboard with no holes in it. I don't know what they call that, hardy board or something, or I don't know. They actually did a nice job cutting it, really. Now, this to me, I don't know why that wood's there. That's definitely, I don't know if that's original. This piece doesn't look original to me. See, I'm going off of, I don't know what it looked like originally, so I don't really know. Got to kind of just figure it out. But I always thought that the metal brackets went right onto the cabinet themselves. I mean, you can see that there's a hole here, but it doesn't really line up. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. You know what? Maybe that wood is supposed to be there, this wood. By the way that these bolts are, I think somebody cut those bolts off. I don't know. But I'm gonna take this off because I for sure think that that's not supposed to be here. Yeah, because there's a piece of that thin wood behind it. Get this 2x4 out of here, possibly. I'll have to do that from underneath. It looks like it's screwed in from underneath. This wood has the same one over here, so that's got to be original to the cabinet. That would be my guess. And I'm guessing that the bolts that they cut off were probably held the mounting or something for the monitor, which we're not going to be able to use that probably anyways, because I highly doubt I'm going to have monitor brackets that are like that. And there's a couple brackets in the piece of wood in the back I need to eliminate as well. Because this little piece of wood right here on this front edge, that's what the glass sets against. The monitor goes behind it. And the monitor is going to have to go in from the front because there's no way it would fit from the back that I know of. I got a couple cleats in the back here I need to remove. And then at that point, I think we're down to where we need to be. I'm gonna have to get a tape measure out and figure out how wide this monitor is and what kind of brackets I have. If I'm gonna have to put some wood between that wood to shim them out. I got plenty of screws and wood. Okay, we are all cleared out except for that 2x4, which is just a couple little screws, which they've stripped. Or they're, oh, you know what, they're star bits. So I gotta go grab a star bit to get those two screws out real quick. Okay, I believe I've removed everything I need to remove. There was that 2x4 somebody had cut on an angle here. I got that out of there. Oh, by the way, I fixed my leak. So my games are back in order. Fortunately, Gallagher cabinet took a little bit of water damage to the back of it. Eventually, I'll probably have to take it upstairs and fix it. But stuff happens. Ended up having to buy 2 different parts for the washing machine, tear the whole entire washing machine apart until I found the leak. Found the leak, replaced the parts. It's up and running good. What I did is I went to Home Depot, maybe it was Lowe's I think, and I bought a tray that goes underneath the washing machine. Okay, so it's about that deep, the tray, and what happens is if the washer starts leaking in the future now, it'll catch the water in that tray and I'll see it before it overflows. There is a way to hook it up to a drain, a floor drain, but I currently don't have a floor drain up there. Maybe when I remodel that part of the house, I'll put one in so that it'll catch it and it'll go down the drain rather than overflow the pan, which it would take quite a bit of water to overflow the pan. But anyways, that's fixed. The game's back in place. It is working. Eventually, I'll probably get to fixing that. The back door swelled up a little bit, so it doesn't want to shut. Stupid stuff, but it is what it is. Stuff happens. So, okay, now that we have that all apart, let's take a measurement on the width of that monitor, because that's a 27-inch monitor, I think. And I don't know if these had a 25 or 27. By the size of the cabinet, I would think it came with a 27. I could look it up online if I wanted to, but I think I did a long time ago, and I think it was a 27, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, this is a 2792. So if we measure from corner to corner, we should be at 27, and we are. Okay, but we need to know our right to left measurement tight right now, which is 24.5 is the total width of the monitor at its farthest point. And let's see what we have here. We have 27.75. So that's a lot. So let me go look, see if I have some brackets that would mount to that. Might have to make some, which is really gonna set me back time-wise, but it is what it is. Let me go see what I have in the storage room as far as brackets for the sides. And was that a side? You know what? That mounted on top and bottom. Let me go see something. I might have something. Okay, I have these brackets off of a monitor, and I don't know if these came off of a 27 or 29, but I think or if I went out to the farthest hole, if that would match up the width of the cabinet to this. Of course, I dropped the nut, and I gotta get it out of the, there we go. It's not going to be easy trying to align these up in the cabinet because the monitor is extremely heavy. It's 27 inch. I think these are backwards. I think I need to go this way. This monitor, when it was in the PGA cabinet, used the inside hole, and I still might have to use the inside hole. Actually, now that I think about it, these brackets might have came from that PGA Tour cabinet, which, if that's the case, they were on this monitor. And I'll bet you this cabinet is probably about the same width as that PGA was. So, in theory, this might just work. Find my tape measure, wherever I put that. There it is. Let's get a measurement from right to left with these brackets on the farthest hole out first, and we'll see what we're at. And we're only at 26.5. I think this cabinet was wider than that, if I remember. I think this was 27 or something. Okay, we're at 27.75. So 26.5, which 1.25 inches. So we could probably get away with a piece of 1 by on each side, which is 3/4. And then if we have to, we can bring those brackets in, because let's double measure this one more time. I'll push them inwards all the way. I push them in all the way, 26.5. So 26.5 plus 3/4 is 27.25, plus 3/4 is 28. And this is 27.75. So I really need 5/8 plywood on each side. I was kind of hoping I could just use some of that scrap that was sitting right there, but it's not going to work. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get some 5/8 plywood, which I believe I have out in the shop, so I can cut a strip and put it on both sides. Trying to figure out where the brackets would mount in here. And you know, I'm gonna go see if I have a screen bezel too. Okay, I found a screen bezel. I believe I found the glass. I think the glass came with this. I found these brackets in my storage room. One of them looks brand new. One of them is definitely used. But if I were to use these metal brackets, mount them to the wood, since there's already that 3/4 inch wood on the side of the cabinet, plus another 3/4 of an inch, that's 1.5 inches. I can get a good 1.25 inch screw into the cabinet to screw these brackets in. If I were to do that and then take them and drill holes through these brackets, that's going to give me, I need 5/8 of an inch on each side. So I think what I'd have to do is turn them this way. And then I can bump it like that. Then I could drill holes through this bracket into that bracket, mount that all in there, and then these will be all supported in there, and then I can slide the monitor in place. I think that's what I'm going to use. I think I'd rather use these metal brackets than pieces of wood, since there's already pieces of wood in here. Now my only other concern is that I need to figure out, oh boy, I almost dropped her. I need to figure out where I need to mount these. So I guess I'll kind of hold the screen bezel onto the monitor and see if I can see how far out it needs to go. Quite a distance, really. So that bracket would have to be back 4 inches. So if I come over here, I want to stay obviously behind this cleat. So basically you got to measure back 4 inches. That's about where the bracket's got to be, right in about that area. So it's going to look like this. 4 inches back. Then we just need to determine the height, but probably just center it. And we can screw these in, then we get the other brackets mounted. So let me get a marker, get a couple things figured out here, and then we can get those mounted on there. I gotta find some heavier duty screws too, because we can put like 4 screws. This one will need some more holes drilled in it. This one has 4 holes drilled in it. So I need to drill a couple more holes in this one, but let me see what I have screw wise and a few other things, and then we'll come back and see if we can't figure out these brackets. Okay, I've got some screws, I got some brackets, or I got the brackets, got my drill bits and cordless drill and all that stuff. So I guess the first thing I want to do is get these mounted back here where I think they need to go. One more thing I want to check first is where or how this monitor bezel, if it fits right to left. Yes, it's going to. Fairly. It'll be a tight fit. Have to cut it a little bit. No, actually no. It makes it. Okay, that's going to determine my height of my monitor, really. So I'm going to kind of mark in here with a pencil on the wood. Then we can come over to the monitor. It actually sits just about where it needs to go. So I wonder if there's another way to put this bracket on or not. No, there's not. Okay. So basically, from the screen, you need to go up about 3 inches from that line I marked inside of there where the bracket's going to go. And I don't even think my camera was even pointing to where I was at. But anyways, so we need to go about 3 inches taller than where I put this pencil line. So my pencil line's there. So this bracket's got to go up 3 inches from that. So let's just mark on this bracket 3 inches. Once we get the one side set, we'll just measure the same off the other side. And we need to go back 4 inches from the back side of this. My head's in the way, I know. So we'll go back 4 inches. So this bracket needs to go exactly there. Okay, so let me get, shoot, I forgot some washers. I'm gonna need some washers because these holes are pretty big. And I'm gonna use a hex head bolt, or not a bolt, but a, I don't know, it's like a wood screw, but it has a hex head on it. We're gonna use these. So I'm gonna grab some washers so they don't go through the holes. These are about 1 inch long, should be more than enough, sufficient. 4 bolts per side. And it's going into plywood, not even particle board, so it should be plenty sturdy enough. And I'm not going to drill a hole into the wood. I'm just going to run the screw right into the wood because they're not huge screws, and I think it's just going to make it a little bit stronger if I don't drill a hole. This bracket I need to drill 2 more holes in, but the other side has 4 holes already drilled in it. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Okay. Yeah, those brackets are going to go nowhere. That's stiff. So now I need to duplicate the exact same thing on the other side. So I'll just go off my measurements from this side, which is, the metal bracket is 1.5 inches off the bottom. Then I know 4 inches back from the back side of this cleat. Okay. Probably going to have to run to my shop to get some bolts to bolt the other brackets to these metal brackets. This game ever comes out of my basement, I'm taking the monitor out before I even carry it up the steps. Cabinet alone weighs 200 pounds probably. We have our brackets mounted. Now I need to measure, and I believe it was 26.5, just to verify it. 26.5. So now we have to determine 26.5, and this is 27 3/4, so that leaves us what? 1.25 inches? No. We're at 26.5. And this is 27 3/4. 1.25 inches, yeah. So 5/8. There's a hole right there that is exactly 5/8 over. Both sides. What's the coincidence of that? These holes are, later pencil, these holes are 5/8 of an inch over on both sides. So that is awesome. So the only other thing I need to do is verify the height of the bracket next, so I know where to mount these things, how high up to mount them. And then we'll take another measurement from center hole to center hole to just verify that. But now I need to figure out how high those brackets are on the monitor according to where the screen bezel goes. I guess that's what I'm going to go off of. Alright, which is, we're going to go from basically here up. Two and a half to the bottom of the bracket. So how am I going to do that? 2.5 to the bottom of the bracket. Obviously these go up higher than that. Well, what I guess I can do is this piece of plastic, it's pretty much going to sit flush on the floor in there. .21 inches to the bottom of the bracket. So let's go 21 1/4 inches to the bottom of the bracket, from the bottom of the bracket. So 21 1/4, that's the bottom of the metal bracket. Hopefully I get this all screwed in and the monitor fits. If not, we'll have to do a little modification. Okay, so that's the bottom of the bracket. So we know that this needs to sit like this, back here. Roughly right around there. So I need to drill a hole through here, and put a nut and bolt through there. It's only going to have one nut and bolt, so it's going to want to do this. But once the monitor gets bolted onto the other side, it's not going to go anywhere. But I need to verify. So what I'm doing right now is sliding it down, and I can see that this bracket is right at the 5/8 mark. So I just know that that needs to go there. So I'm going to run out to the shop, grab 4 bolts with nuts and washers, and we'll get these bolted in. Okay, I'm going to drill a hole through this first and then hold the bracket behind it and drill a hole through that. I got 1/4 inch bolts and nuts. I didn't bring washers because I figured that nut will probably hold tighter directly to the metal rather than having a washer on there. And now my light's dying. I got to go grab a battery real quick. Okay, where did I prepare this? So we're going to go right here with it. I'll have to vacuum out the cabinet afterwards. My bit fell out. Everything's sliding. It's because the stupid piece of wood's on an angle. So my goal today is to just get this thing in here, and then we'll do more on the next video. I'm going to tighten that one, and then we can measure off of it to get our measurement to the other side. I have a wrench with me, but I think I have a pair of pliers right over here. Did I bring them over here? Thought I did. Maybe not. Guess I'll go grab a 7/16 wrench. I did have a pair of pliers on the floor. Okay, now that we have that one in place, we can measure from the center of this to the center of that other side on the monitor itself and come up with our width. So I'm just going to go center a hole to center a hole. (20 5/8). This is going to be kind of tricky to hold this up here. This is going to have to go down here. These are kind of in a certain order, are they? No, not really. 20 5/8. Let me go outside to outside. That might be a little bit easier. Roughly 21 inches. filming all this so you can see how I'm figuring this out. If we have to make the holes in the monitor bracket a little bit bigger, we always can. So we have a little bit of wiggle room if we need it. Let's see what our measurements are. Should be there, should be good. Now we need to measure up top to bottom. Get this thing unplugged. Well, it looks like it's the same, 21, about roughly 21 outside to outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these ones mounted. I'll do these two off camera, just to not waste time. I'm gonna do the same thing, hold these up, and get them 21 inches apart from up there. So let me do that, and then I'll come back and we'll lift this thing up there and see if it's gonna fit. Okay, I had to change up the bottom brackets a little bit, because 21 inches from here to where this stud wasn't low enough. So I had to pop the stud out of there, and I mounted these all the way down to the wood, and I put 2 screws into the wood too to really secure it. So now what I'm gonna have to do is get the monitor up into place, and then we can mark and drill these bottom holes. So hopefully I can get this monitor up in here relatively easily, but we'll see what happens. I don't know how it's gonna work out. It's a heavy monitor, but we should be able to get it. Get myself some room, clean up. Hopefully we can get it up in there without moving the control panel. I don't know. Guess we'll just give it a shot. All right. Oh, I gotta get the remote board. Okay. Put that over top for now. Hope it clears the control panel. Might have to take the control panel off. I think I'm gonna have to. All right, let's pull this off. I think it comes apart still. I don't think they screw. Oh, you know what? I think I gotta unscrew it. I don't think it has latches. So I might have to take those bolts out of the front. Forgot about that. Yes, this does not have latches. So I need a T-bit, I believe. Pop these out real quick. Oh, it's a Allen head. Do I have one big enough? Got it. So I need to take this off anyways, so it's not that big a deal. Unless there's another way that they come off, but I don't know. I don't think so. Seriously? I'm gonna have to clean up the sticky residue that's on here. Okay, now this comes off. Now it gives me access to get the monitor in. I don't know what this hokey stuff is. Speakers. If I should just take this out of the way now. It's already missing two nuts. One's loose and one's missing. Maybe I'll just take this off so that I'm not trying to fight over top of this as well. Let me see if I got a socket. It's probably metric. Or the socket that I lost. 10mm. Looks like they might all be loose actually. All right, take two. Boy, I don't know if it's gonna make it. It's one of those times where it'd be nice if it were a 19-inch monitor. I might have to knock those studs out of the top ones too. I think I'm gonna have to. Just gonna have to remount it once it's in place because it looks like it's gonna go up a little bit higher than hooked on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move those studs on the top too. So let me get those out. I'll be back. Take 3. So let's see if we can at least get it in place. I really kind of need a second person to kind of line it up. Keep getting stuck in this bottom groove now. I might not have enough room. Man, I cannot grab a hold of it. Nothing to grab onto. So I'm going to pry this thing up. Find a pry bar. Trying to get this thing up off the bottom a little bit so I can kind of grab it. Because it's got to get lifted up pretty high to clear the bottom brackets, but I don't know that they're going to clear the bottom brackets. It might not. Kind of looks like it's going to. I think the brackets are going to hit the metal frame of the monitor. They're hitting on the top, at least on the one side. That's what the problem is. I mean, it's close. We are close. Okay, so I'm going to have to notch out these brackets up top here, which is not the end of the world. Just have to go back to the shop and notch them out a little bit. This one's clearing, but that means that the monitor is shoved that way too far. So I'm just going to draw on here. Okay, I'm going to take those brackets out, go cut them, come back down here, and then hopefully it'll fit. Okay, I cut I cut L cuts out of the brackets on both sides up top. So now the tube can go up a little higher, and then hopefully we can get the bottom to pass the metal scoot it back. I didn't take enough off. We are close. That side's in. This side's going to be hidden. Okay, so it is going to fit. I have to just cut that bracket a little bit farther over. I'm trying not to cut too much, because if I cut too much, then I ruined them, and I'm not going to be able to mount the monitor in here. So unfortunately, it's just one of those things that's just going to have to take a couple tries to get it right. It just sucks because this is a pain in the butt, but I will succeed. I will not let it defeat me. So I'll just let that sit there like that. I'll take these brackets back out. Let me take one out real quick so I can kind of show you what I did with the notch. If I can get the nut to stop spinning. Because now the monitor is kind of in the way. That's actually not too bad. I just do one side at a time because it's kind of holding the monitor in there, so I don't want to take them both out at the same time. Oh, the monitor started to slide back. Lower this piece of wood back down. There we go. Now it'll stay. So if you look here, I notched it like this. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to clear that bolt and the angle part of the bracket on the monitor, but it's hitting right here still, so I need to go over farther. I just want to make sure I have room up here that I can drill into to mount the monitor to this bracket. Take 4. Let's see if we can finally get this in here. No! Now we're like a 1/4 inch from making it. One side would go in, but the other side's going to hit this lower bracket now. But we are so close. Alright, I guess I'll take the bottom bracket out and notch those now. Top is good. Top is in. We just need to get the bottom in now. So 2 more little notches, not very big at all. And this thing the bottom should go right in, and then we'll bolt it in, and then we'll finish this video. And this is just basically what I wanted to accomplish today, is just getting this thing mounted in here, not worry about hooking it up, or anything like that. I just wanted to get it in here because I knew that this was going to be a pain in the butt because I didn't have the correct brackets to do it. So this to me is a huge step because the rest of this at this point is easy. So I just need to get this in. So let me cut the bottom 2 brackets and then we will slide it in and bolt it in. Take 5. That side's in. I think we're in. I think we are in. And we're centered because we're even on the brackets on each side. So now I can drill holes through there and nut and bolt this into these brackets. You know, I'm gonna drill a new hole because it has more metal over in this area. Okay, I'm going to get this bolted in, and then I'll come back and we will see if the plastic screen bezel fits. I'm going to use these studs that I took out so that when I draw them in, there's little tiny nubs around this. So when I draw it tight, it'll pop back into the metal. And then if the monitor ever needs to come out, these will be in the metal and they'll be able to go right back in place. Okay, monitor is in and mounted. I figured out how they originally did it. They had a piece of wood that went along here and one along here. Probably would have been easier to do it that way, but we had these brackets laying around. I was probably never going to use them anyways. They fit, it works. Let's try this screen bezel in here now just to see if it is going to be at a good distance. Hoping so. We can always trim this if we need to, but we're not going to have to. Maybe a little bit on the top. What are we hitting on here? Okay, we're hitting on that. Yeah, we're gonna have to trim the top a little bit, but that's nothing. Just gotta draw a line here and we'll cut it. I wonder if I can cut this with scissors. I think I can. I think I've done that before. Let me go grab some. I only have some little scissors down here right now. Let's see if these will work. Or looks like this side's cut less than this. I might be able to just flip it around. Might not have to cut it at all. Oh wait, that's worse. I gotta cut the top, not the bottom. Okay. Pretty sure these will cut. Yeah, they do. So I'm taking off what I think it needs. So if anybody's wondering, as long as these things aren't really, really old and brittle, you can cut them with scissors. Obviously you want a bigger pair than this, but this is all I could find right this minute. You can also cut it with your knife with a straight edge. That's darn close. Probably just have to shave a little bit more off, and then I'll have to tape it in or whatever I need to do. So all right guys, that's going to end this video. The hard part is over. It is in, it's in the right spot. It is right behind this cleat. The glass will go in front of it. Perfect fit. So that's going to end this video, guys. Next video on this, we're going to start putting we're going to get it all vacuumed out and everything. We're going to start putting in the circuit board, power supply, getting the control panel wired up and everything. Who knows, maybe one more video will get it done. There's really not a ton to do left on this, but we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, guys. And don't forget about the giveaway. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, go to the giveaway video and leave a comment. If you do that, you're entered in the drawing to win the mini dig dug. So make sure you guys do that if you're not subscribed. Share, like, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next week.